Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Urbane Legends, the internet podcast about urban legends and similar topics from around this planet we call Gaia. I am King of the Punks, Chris Noxious. And with me, as always, is my friend, Mr.
X-Ray Specs.
Hey, X-Ray Specs.
I think is that a punk band or a punk name? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a band.
Yeah.
How are you doing, friend?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. We're transitioning, aren't we, into a bit of spring?
We are. Yeah,
we're getting,
absolutely.
in between the constant rain, we're sort of getting the odd sunny day.
Whenever I ask you this question at the start, you always start prattling on about the weather. What's that about?
British, isn't it?
You're too British.
Too British.
So I've
yeah, and we're gonna have to get out of that habit because I can't really do that on a podcast.
No, it's difficult.
It's only been
getting on for 3 years.
It's only been going on for 3 years. Give it 30 odd. Might have something interesting to say. No, I don't know. It's just it's been cold for quite a long time, and I'm really.
Is it improving your mood?
Yes, longer days are improving my mood.
You're wearing quite a light t-shirt today.
That's trying to be summery. Light t-shirt, light backgrounds.
Light backgrounds. Fake plant to the side of you. Very nice. Yep. So Neil, I've seen on your social medias that you've started hanging around with a gang of stray dogs, and I just wanted to know how you got in with them, and maybe you could put in a word for me. Like, how did it all happen? Because it's dreamland.
I was coming out of Tesco's in Boundary Road, and basically, there's lots of packs of strays hanging around. Yeah, everyone knows that, Chris.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
It's like Buckingham Palace. Let's explain which one we're talking about.
That's true.
Boundary Road Tesco's, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
And they sort of bullied me into joining the pack.
Are they kind of like
some uncooked chicken?
Oh, nice.
Are they
kind of like
I smeared myself in dog food as well, but.
Are they kind of like a Top Cat style situation? Are they kind of scheming, kind of street dogs?
Oh, yeah, or is it up to some kind of shenanigans?
Rude dog and the dweebs, that kind of thing?
With a side of Poochie, yeah.
With a side of Poochie. What's the name of the lead dog? Is it you?
A growler. No, I'm very much the front of the litter.
Oh, yeah, you could go your way up. Got any ideas?
I'm still not officially part of the sort of pack.
Are you not?
No, I can hang around until I'm doing sort of low level sort of cleanup operations after the crimes.
Okay, what, like dog mess and that?
Yeah, paper skate.
Right. Okay, and do you think there's any chance of? I mean, maybe not now, because you're not as ingratiated with them as I thought you were, based on what you were putting on social media. But everyone does that, don't they?
Yeah,
everyone does that. It's aspirational.
I might have put a bit of I tried to top dog for life and all of that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, you're wearing a dog collar at the moment, which I'm assuming is because you're dressing for the job you want.
Studded.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Really classy.
Yeah, very, very classy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're a bit, in a few, it kind of sounds like you're almost like.
I can work my way up, so
it sounds like you're sort of like
the thing.
You're almost like a prospect.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, and I was kind of reaching for the Sons of Anarchy reference.
Yeah, so you're kind of like the prospect.
Yeah,
for this gang of stray dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you get in, like, maybe you could try and bring me in because I'm looking for a crew, so that might be good. I noticed you haven't signed the petition that I put online, which is I'm trying to get lack of talent put on the disabilities list so that I can try and get a job at the BBC as kind of a diversity hire or something.
Or the government, Chris.
Or the government, yeah. Why not, eh? So if you could sign that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I think they should put you in cabinet. Why not?
So I recently got, I've got the Disney's streaming service for.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had it before.
You're watching a lot of animated movies that, for some weird reason, they decided to make live action.
That's all I'm watching. Yeah, on a loop.
Beautiful.
No, I'm not. But interestingly, because it's the Disney Channel, but I'm not watching any Disney IPs because I'm not
I
simple.
think you recorded some decent stuff on it.
Some
I
and
have
some.
got it. I can't remember.
So I got rid of it, and then they offered it back to me for like £1 a month for 3 months if I was willing to take ads. So I went, yeah, whatever, like £1 a month's fine.
Mainly for the ads, wasn't it?
Well, the thing with the ads, right? Because I don't see, I don't
Mickey Mouse stuff.
No, but I kind of don't think that they understand advertising people or whoever works as the sort of advertising people, marketing people in these organizations. I don't think they understand how humans work, right? Because it's like there's like 5 adverts and they're on kind of a loop, and you get them like in every show. They'll like, if it's an hour long, you get like a couple of them. No, but what that does is it makes me hate the show and means that I'm never going to watch it. It doesn't make me want to watch the show, because if you're just constantly firing the same fucking thing at me over and over again repetitively, it's like, well, I don't ever want to see this now. This has bad associations.
Yeah, but little do you know, Chris, those are rival streaming network shows. They're driving you off. They're indoctrinating you. Yeah, they're driving you away from. This is classic cult strategy. What they do is alienate you from your previous sources of connection.
Right. Yeah.
Until you've only got Disney left.
There is that makes sense, because there is one advert that constantly
Mickey
says
Mouse hand jobs in the car park.
Because I paused it during one of the adverts, and there's like little, like one kind of frame thing like clicks in, and it says forget your family.
Yeah.
And there's another one that clicks in.
Are they really your friends?
Yeah. There's another one that clicks in that says kill the Pope, which is weird. But I'm thinking of killing the Pope now, so it's obviously working.
I recommend it, Chris. I'm thinking of fun times we could have.
Why don't you kill the pontiff?
I think Pope Francis has been saying things he shouldn't have. That means happening to take a dive off that balcony.
I've been
that's not Disney voices.
I've been watching they've got a new series of the X-Men cartoon, which was quite people enjoyed in like 1993, but they've got like a new one, which is also like quite bad animation and stuff. So it really fits in.
What we like, yeah.
So they've got that, and it kind of like, do you know what? It's kind of the right time to do it, because like X-Men came out because of civil rights and all of that kind of stuff. It was kind of quite politically
and all of that stuff. Yeah,
it was kind of political, but that was what it was a nod to, right? It was a metaphor, Neil, you might say.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense, right? Because now when you see the characters in the new ones, like the sort of bad guys, they're all just like MAGA people. You're like, oh, that guy's just that guy's just Alex Jones. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally the same.
Oh no, have they gone woke?
Well, Disney.
Is that the people moaning about them?
Yeah, Disney, the organisation started up by a Nazi sympathiser, is the most woke organisation on earth. No, I think that what they've done is gone, well, we can make more money if we appeal to more people. But so there's only a couple of episodes of that. So I started watching the old X-Men ones, because I only sort of caught bits and bobs of those.
I never saw it. Actually, Wolverine's a major.
Yeah, Wolverine, right? So it's interesting because Wolverine doesn't ever seem to win a fight in this. But also, the funniest thing is he punctuates every single thing by going shing with his claws. So it's like, you picked the wrong night. Shing. Yeah. He literally, like, everything he says, he then just puts it, it's like, Wolverine, would you like a cup of tea? I'd love a cup of tea. Shing.
This is the thing, isn't it? Because actually his kind of powers are quite violent. So you can't, like, for a kid's cartoon, you can't really show him, like, decapitating.
They always have him, like that.
That was a great thing with Logan. You can actually see him,
Well, like there's that bit at the beginning of the A-Team where Mr. T turns around like he's going to punch someone and then just smiles. Right. Well, Logan is always there about to presumably put his blade through someone's brain, and then someone always stops him just in time. So, yeah, they always go, Logan, no. And he goes, lucky this time. Shing. But no, I'm watching through them. They're okay. I mean, there isn't much else on there, to be honest.
Well, you got the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah.
They just get better and better, don't they? That's age like fine wine.
I think I've seen the first one. But...
Still that like 20 years ago. To be fair, it was fine for its time.
Yeah, I'm not really into the whole
before Johnny Depp completely disappeared up his own arsehole with all those mannerisms.
Johnny Depp.
But yeah, no, I've actually.
I'm going to drink Jack Daniels and ride motorbike.
Fucking cool, man.
I'm cool. I'm gonna pick up a wolf skull and put it on my head.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear snakeskin boots. Yeah, I'm gonna play
the guitar solo.
I'm gonna play a guitar solo on my sterling silver Les Paul. Yeah, he's really he's proper rock and roll, that guy, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. It's not at all a deranged camp property developer.
In like the fifth movie or whatever, they brought out, guess who was his dad? Keith Richards.
It's Keith Richards, yeah. I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a painfully embarrassing scene. It was completely sucked all of the energy out of the room. Anyway.
Sucked all the energy
a brilliant cameo.
Hello, Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, yeah. I'm your dad.
This is amusing, isn't it? Yeah, not really. Should we move
on? So, Neil, talking about Keith Richards, what monster are we looking at today?
I'll tell you what I will say. His autobiography is a decent read.
Is it?
Life, yeah.
Well, if we finally get round to you teaching me how to read, then maybe I'll have a look.
Let's get you
presumably
mastering the alphabet first, Chris.
Presumably the audiobook is inaudible.
Actually, the audiobook, yeah, because I think
is it read by Stephen Fry?
Well, no, I think Johnny Depp actually reads some of it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Probably did his best Keith accent.
Anyway. Speaking of
things that, mental illnesses, Havana Syndrome is what we're covering today.
Havana Syndrome, it's a big one.
Well, it's a kind of
no, it is. It is a big one.
Oh no, I don't doubt that that's the case. I hadn't heard of it though, but it does remind me.
Had you not?
No, I hadn't. Funny.
Oh,
it does remind me of Gulf War Syndrome, which nobody talks about anymore. But yes, it seems somewhat similar to that. But and the problem is, trying to find an interesting article about it, which I've failed to do. So you're going to get one of the. So I've kind of going to do probably a mixture of wiki and kind of a bit of a more spurious blog.
So my understanding of it, and I know I've heard about it like a fair bit, so I understand. I won't ruin it, but it's people in the Havana consulate or something in Cuba, in the American consulate. They all started getting hearing ringing and having like terrible headaches and like all kinds of like weird illnesses and stuff. And there's speculation that it might be from some kind of ultrasonic weapon from the Russians or the Cubans or some shit.
Death rays or microwave rays or something like that. Yeah. Well, they haven't killed anyone yet.
No. Ineffective death rays.
Pretty much a load of unexplained symptoms where, I mean, it's not just in Havana, it's been around the world.
But it started in Havana.
Yeah, the first incidents when they've done this is comes back. So let's move to the wiki article if I can find the sort of history of the thing.
So I feel that this is going to be one that you're going to be on board with because it's got science, it's got actual stuff, probably, or it could be a big con. It's got Havana, where you wrote your most famous book.
Yep. Me and Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah, well, you wrote The Postman Only Knocks Twice, didn't you, there?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sequel, Postman Knocks Thrice.
Yeah, I mean, you were hammered when you wrote the sequel.
Absolutely out of it on Cuba Libres.
Barely remember writing it.
No, I don't.
It was illegible, a lot of it, wasn't it? It was a very trail of thought.
I had to, publisher had to clean off quite a lot of the vomit on the copy.
Yeah, that's what
they paid for.
Yeah, that's what the editor's for.
The fucking job is to put it out to them.
Although they couldn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah. I was busy throwing up at the time when I was speaking.
Cool.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's a bit of a mix between medical mystery. The only thing is one as well because it's not really it's sort of conspiracy theory adjacent, but it's kind of
it's an interesting one.
Is it an urban myth? Is it a bit conspiracy theory? Don't know. Slightly loosely related. It's fine. There's room for a
And
lot of slop in what we're doing.
ongoing, importantly.
Ongoing, yeah. So, Havana Syndrome, 7 chilling theories about what's behind the mystery illness.
That's a weird start for a Wikipedia.
It's not wiki. I decided to just go straight to the Skyscape article. I'm mercurial like that, Chris. I just changed my mind on a whim.
You're certainly what I like to call a flair podder.
Yeah.
Like with all your flicks and tricks.
Just get through on
don't know what you're going to do next.
We were talking about the England game.
Really wind up the opposition podcasters.
Oh, yeah. Can't stand it. Just slickly move from one topic to another. No, you can introduce something completely non-sequitur.
I'm going to do a Wikipedia article.
That's not how you podcast.
I'm going to do a Wikipedia article. Here's the 7 things. Little step over there. Yeah. Lovely. You said one thing, did another. Beautiful.
How's he done that?
Dropped your shoulder.
Yeah. Right.
Sadly, I'm an embittered, tired, old defensive midfield, the workhorse. Watching all that, watching you get the big money, even though you don't track back.
You're like Gary Neville just bitching on TV.
I'm like Conte when he became a manager, who then decided to try and destroy Flair because he was bitter from being a defensive player.
Or a late period
little bit of European football there for our American listeners.
Yeah, that'll go down an absolute fucking
lovely
storm with our biggest audience.
Hey, we've done episodes on baseball.
We've done a bit of baseball.
We haven't done any on football.
We don't really know enough about American football.
I know a lot about it. I mean, not any of the players or anything.
I played a lot of Madden when I was a lot younger.
Yeah, you know enough. You know it.
I know enough, probably. Yeah. I know. Yeah, 10 yards and all that jazz.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a decent game. You just don't really get it on TV, do you? You did, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah.
I've already said that on here. I'm not going to.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say you play for a particular team, but we'll get into that another time.
Brighton B52s.
There you go. Right.
National rise up.
Good to know. Right. Any more you want to add to that?
Named after the B-52 bomber.
Yeah, I think we're all on board with that.
Oh, I thought you might have thought we were named after the band. The B-52s. Yeah. I thought, but I thought you might have thought we were named after Love Shack.
Well, you did play in the Love Shack, didn't you? Yeah. So.
That's what the coach called it. Yeah. Unfortunately, I only stayed for one season.
Yeah, so it got quite grim, didn't it?
It did.
Anyway, you've signed the NDA, so we're not supposed to talk about that.
I won't tell you what his rock lobster was.
wasn't very much resemblance to a rock. It was no lobster. Right. Anyway, as the U.S. Embassy,
but it pinched.
It pinched, all right. Yeah. Right.
Abuse. Right.
Any more? Or can I actually start?
You.
Yeah. Right. As the U.S. Embassy in Havana prepared to ring in the new year in late 2016, a CIA officer,
which is short for
conspiracy
information. Information. It's not intelligence. Information. Chief information soldier.
Yeah, there you go. The A means soldier now. That's good.
Don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of CIS.
Yeah, don't know.
Chief Information. Chief Information Army.
Yeah, there you go. Now known as Patient Zero.
My brain's really stopped functioning as well as it used to since I've been made redundant.
Yeah.
Really
you'll be barely verbal by the time you actually get a job. Ironically, that gets you up to CEO level in record time.
Yeah, exactly. Just shoot straight up the old corporate ladder.
Backwards up the ladder. Nice.
Once I start talking no sense, then they'll buy into it. As long as it's run by angel investors, I'll be
pure jargon.
Yeah.
It'll be like that Father Ted thing where they just talk, was it Father Jack? That would be an ecumenical matter.
That would be an ecumenical matter.
That would be an ecumenical matter.
I suppose it would, Father.
Yeah, interesting.
CIA.
Yeah, CIA officer, known as Patient Zero.
Army.
Dropped. Right. Our scene sets in Havana.
Okay.
New Year, 2016. A CIA officer known as Patient Zero dropped by the station's health office complaining about an odd sensation of pressure followed by crushing headaches and dizziness.
Oof,
If you've been on a
sounds
flight,
sounds like a migraine to me. Little tip for migraine sufferers: have a strong black coffee with no sugar, because it opens up the capillaries in your brain and allows better blood flow.
There you go. Or do some morphine. Either or.
Yeah, or some heroin.
Yeah, all lovely heroin.
It's like a warm hug.
You wouldn't want to be like our favourite stars of Train Spotting.
Oh,
that was a fun movie, wasn't it?
Well, the universe is hugging me.
Yeah. Timor CIA officers operating under diplomatic cover in Cuba reported strange sensations by February 2017. As there were only 4 CIA officers attached to the embassy, weird that there's actually been 4 of them in an embassy anyway, and 3 of them had unexplained symptoms. There was considerable
because
spies. So
spies
will tend to hang out when
they hang around in the embassy. They're given like diplomatic job.
Yeah, fair enough. So-called Havana Syndrome has since struck down hundreds of US and Canadian government employees in Cuba, Russia, China,
not the Canucks.
Yeah,
not the Canucks. Not big friendly Scotland.
Claiming the hoses as well.
Oh no!
Because all that ice skating, that'll give you a migraine, wouldn't it?
Well, it's because they're scared of the Mounties.
Oh, where's the pup?
The Royal Mounted Police. I'm scared of them. They've got the best counter-espionage service in the world.
Nice hats as well.
Nice hat. Well, that's a part of the trick, isn't it? Yeah, but nice. But it's part of the trick, isn't it? Looks silly.
Yeah.
Then they don't expect you to garrot them.
Yeah, it's like the Swiss Guard in the Vatican.
Exactly.
They look like they're dressing in some sort of 16th century pajamas.
Or they're actually, as we know, cyborgs.
I know you're holding a halberd. That'll work well against somebody coming in with a gun. Of course, they are trained with guns and whatnot.
Maybe.
It's weird though, isn't it? The sort of Swiss Guard who's supposedly the most highly trained, and it's like
no one's ever said that. That they're the most highly trained.
Pope's like, give me some more Swiss.
The Pope's been saying a lot of stuff recently. A lot of it I don't agree with.
A lot of fucking chat.
He's got, he's getting. You need to get back.
Wind your neck in, Franny.
Yeah, get back in your box, sunshine. Yeah.
You're not going to about Jesus. That's what I'm coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Unless something about geopolitical situation and what's happening on the ground in Ukraine and Russia, I'm going elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to have a look at GB News. All right. I'm not going down the Vatican.
Yeah, I'll stick to Fox.
See what Rees-Mogg's got to say about it.
I'll see what the latest news on the Mail Online says.
Yeah. Stick in your lane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or I'll punch you back into it. There you go. Threaten the Pope.
What are you going to do? We'll turn the other cheek.
Yeah. Well, I'll slap that too.
That's getting one and all. Slap that back where it needs to be and all.
You silly
Till
little
you learn
sausage.
a bit of sense.
I know you're trying to mend bridges with the Eastern Orthodox Church, but this isn't the way.
I know where to go about it. You surrendered before it's even started. You're mugging yourself off. Fuck's sake, basic strategy. Fucking state of this fucking Vatican. Pope Innocent III, getting up to this shittery. You cunt. He'd come back here, he'd kick you up the arse.
I remember when popes used to be real men.
Yeah. Getting on a battlefield with their army, doing a bit of country.
Exactly. You should be trying to
Putin before it's even started.
You should be trying to crash. You should be trying to crash the Orthodox Church. Christmas in February? No.
December 25th. Just as little Jesus intended. Yeah.
Just like your boss man, little baby Jesus intended. He's going to think you've been a very naughty boy.
Right, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's keep this on, particularly intriguing article. So-called Havana Syndrome has since struck down hundreds of US and Canadian government employees in Cuba, Russia, China and beyond. Many conspiracy theories have evolved, that's our entrance in, including several offbeat ideas that may yet prove to be correct.
I wonder if one of them is something to do with HAARP. And I wonder if one of HAARP, HAARP. Oh, it's one we'll look at in the future. It's I think HAARP's a weather control. Someone having control of weather. Or Tesla's death ray could thanks to that.
But yeah, that's no problem. We'll find out. There are 7 bizarre potential things apparently. So Skyscape, this is the this is where the article is, skyscape.com, runs through the possible causes of the mystery illness. So number one, this seems to be favourite with a lot of people, some sort of secret sonic or ultrasonic weapon.
Like an ultrasonic toothbrush.
Yeah, well, it's good for removing plaque, but what are you doing to your brain?
Terrible. It's terrible for your nut.
Think on.
Yeah. Smooth it out right nice.
Yeah. Mind you, you go, yeah, that'll lead to kind of like compulsive behaviours. We'll clean your teeth more. So,
but they used to say, and I don't know whether this is still a thing, but they used to say that plaque could give you cancer. So,
well, this is why people, like there's a lot of conspiracy theories as well around fluoridation of water, because supposedly it's like a mind control thing.
Didn't putting fluoride in the water meant that people got really stumpy fingers?
No, it just basically means you have less teeth decay.
That's what a person
very small amounts.
Someone who we used to be friends with used to say that's why he had stumpy fingers, because of they put fluoride in the water.
Then why hasn't everyone else got stumpy fingers? Seeing as all the water.
Well, because we were younger than him.
Okay, is fluoride.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying this is what someone said.
Did he have a track record of saying things that
I wouldn't necessarily say this person was a trusted narrator.
Trustworthy source.
No.
Maybe he's right.
Maybe they just did it. Maybe they just did it in Withenshaw.
I think maybe he just had stumpy fingers and
desperately scrambling around as a reason to find out why.
So, German police are investigating an alleged sonic weapon attack against the staff of US Embassy in Berlin in 21, one of many incidents of Havana Syndrome worldwide. While military and police forces do make use of sonic weapons to incapacitate opponents, doctors point out the sound is not known to damage the brain.
Well, not known.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a whole BBC article that basically talks about kind of there's someone who did investigate. This goes back to the Cold War sort of microwave rays, although that might be another one on here. Oh, actually, no, this is a separate. So this is just a sonic weapon at the moment, not more. Yeah.
Well, they use it to disperse young people, don't they, as well? Because us old people can't hear that anymore.
Well, that's about frequency. So you lose a few degrees of or whatever it's kilohertz of frequency every year you age past your teens.
And the song, What's the Frequency, Kenneth, by R.E.M. was about the invention of that weapon.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so basically it just means that you can play it really loud. Well, I did hear about it as well. Because not everyone actually does lose that ability as they get older.
No, I don't. I've got very youthful ears.
No, you can test it. I've actually tested mine. I could go up to about 15,000 or 15 kilohertz or whatever it was.
Where were you trying this at?
In your lab? There's YouTube.
In your secret lab?
In my secret bunker. No, you just literally go to a YouTube channel. You look at do like a ear test.
Why are you doing that?
It's just a YouTube thing, and it just goes from like 60 hertz all the way up to about 20 kilohertz, something like that.
But what made you want to do it?
I was just interested to see what my ears would crap out.
All right.
Just test.
No, it's just weird. Just a weird thing to do.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, I mean, like
I was interested to test it out for myself.
Yeah, did you test out anything else, like your nostrils? The YouTube channel?
It had no effect on my nostrils. How would YouTube?
Well, exactly, Neil. Exactly. You think YouTube's the answer for everything, but it's not.
Yeah, well, one of these days.
It's actually pretty much unusable these days because of the adverts.
Well, I can mine. Yeah, no, I've got the.
Unless you pay.
Which I do, because you get the music as well.
Got Spotify.
But that means I don't need Spotify, so it's the same cost. Each to their own. Right, what was I going on about? Oh, yeah, over in Germany. So, sonic weapons to incapacitate opponents. Doctors point out it's not actually damage brain. Nonetheless, Berlin is probing what the German media outlet Spiegel describes as an extremely unusual incident. At least two.
Der Spiegel?
Just says Spiegel here. I think it is Der Spiegel. I think you're right, but. I just read the text that's in front of me, Chris.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's what's on the teleprompter on this awesome studio of ours.
Yep, it's huge. Havana studio in Pinewood.
Nice. At least 2 US officials. Hell of a journey back, isn't it? It's Brighton.
Oh, it's an absolute ball ache to do a 1 hour podcast a week. I don't know why we use it.
Well, I have to, though. Yeah.
Well, it's for the quality, isn't it? It's for the quality.
The immensely high quality, obviously, we're dedicated to
and also, that's the place that the CIA pay for us to produce this enhanced interrogation material.
Yeah. Well, there's an equally good one in Brighton on there. Rather you spent 3 hours getting to and from.
You can go to Pinewood, or you can go to the one outside Maidstone, where they used to film Saturday morning TV for kids. Oh, well, that's going to be more difficult to get to because you've got to go into London and then back out. So, yeah.
Pinewood is. Right, anyway. At least 2 US officials were unable to work after complaining of nausea, severe headaches, ear pain, fatigue, and insomnia. So it could be
hangover.
Yeah, just drunk. You know, US officials are notorious for drinking on the job.
Oh, God, yeah.
We've all seen Mad Men. We know what it's like.
Yep.
Electromagnetic energy and ultrasound waves is option number 2. So US intelligence officials weighed in with a report in February 22 saying a high-tech device shooting pulsed electromagnetic energy or ultrasound waves could be causing at least some of the cases of Havana Syndrome. They noted that concealed devices with modest energy requirements could produce symptoms and be effective over hundreds of meters and even through walls.
Oh. Interesting. So does that suggest that they have also made these? Would they have them?
Well, yeah, because I think there's cases of in
Because there's all kind of rumours and stuff that like
the American embassy in Russia, they targeted that with microwaves for about 50 years.
Oh yeah, that was a really silly one where like the Russians gave America a big eagle or something, and then they hung it up in the main room, and it was like a receiver for so they could just hear every conversation for about 50 years. Like literally a Trojan horse. But there's all kinds of like, I don't know whether they're theoretical or whether they exist. I mean, the thing is, we won't know what the full gambit of American weaponry is unless America's in an existential war, right? Because they can beat most people with bombs and shit.
Yeah,
but there's
drones
stuff like
are quite handy.
Yeah, drones are really handy. Wave after wave of prisoners, that's quite handy.
Yeah.
But there's
can't do the time, don't do the crime, Chris. Said.
But there's talk of like kind of like having things that shoot out microwaves, like which can take down missiles and stuff, or like that kind of thing. So
it's twofold. They make it blow up. On the go. He's got his ready meal, wants to heat it up.
Exactly. Got his Hungryman breakfast.
Yeah, beautiful.
All your calorie needs and your three times your salt need for the day for your soldier on the go. Hungryman. We don't get these in the UK. Neil, I think you sent me an article about 15 years ago.
Yeah, there was an old article back in.
Was it on Cracked or something?
Entertainment. Yeah, I think it's more some other site now. I think he writes a thing called Dinosaur Dracula. The bloke he used to write. Anyway, yeah, he used to have this funny article where, it was basically this. It was like 3,000 calorie breakfast with about.
Yeah, it looked. I don't know even where you put 3,000 calories into that. It was so small.
Well, there was about 5 kilos of dried eggs. That was probably. But yeah, there was like these nasty looking sausages and greasy looking thin bacon. Anyway,
it didn't look like a 3,000 calorie meal, did it?
Yeah,
which you'd imagine to be all delicious.
You could get a lot better at an American diner, couldn't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And probably healthier.
Well, the pancakes made of like crushed bone meal and lard.
Yeah. Lard and sadness.
Right.
Number 3, an unidentified weapon.
The name of our double act.
Yeah.
We don't know who's who.
Figure it out for yourselves, listener. That's the beautiful ambiguity of art.
Sadly, we're both. Each of us are both.
Yeah, it's like yin and yang, isn't it?
It's quite high concept.
Yeah, except it's silly. Anyway, number 3, an unidentified weapon. So,
what were the first 2 then?
Yeah, it's sort of. I don't think he's really got 7 here anyway. Canadian diplomats and their families who lived in Havana, Cuba, are suing the government, accusing Canada of being slow to react to complaints about health problems, including severe nosebleeds and brain fog.
Slow to react, eh?
All right. The plaintiffs are clearly the victims of some new kind of weaponry or method of attack in which the harms, treatment, and prospects for recovery are still being discovered and developed, according to the claim filed by Toronto law firm Waddell Phillips. the Canadian government is defending the
Waddle
lawsuit.
Phillips.
Yeah.
It's what Chris Waddle did after he went and got his law degree, didn't he? Moved to Canada.
Yeah.
After he finished playing football.
Set up his partner.
Set up a nuisance law firm.
Yeah. You was going to be an ambulance chaser. So number 4, mosquito gas or toxins.
Mosquito gas.
Yeah. So Israeli and Canadian researchers released a 2019 report raising the hypothesis that about 24 Canadian diplomats and their families may have been overexposed to insect spray as a plausible cause of Havana Syndrome.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so people get this. Yeah, I don't even explain what Havana Syndrome is, actually. I thought it was going to be a bit more in the beginning of this article. But yeah, they get a ringing in the ears and then kind of like a sort of pressure in the sky. I did sort of do it a little bit.
It sounds a bit like, and I wouldn't know, but I've been told, it sounds a bit like what it's like to when you do nitrous oxide.
Although presumably that's very short-lived.
Very short-lived, but you get a thing called the bells.
Oh, okay. Because as I say, there's reported symptoms ranging in severity from pain and ringing in the ears to cognitive dysfunction. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like I don't even see how much of this is kind of long term or any of the rest of it. I mean, I didn't want to sort of play down this.
I think it's a long term thing. I think people who the original people who got it have still got it. They're still suffering from it, like long COVID.
So Cuba was aggressively spraying for the Zika virus at the time, but those affected said the report raises more questions than it answers, and Cuba denies any suggestion of attack. And this is the thing, because when it first kicked off, so I think it was under the Obama regime, they actually kind of like made up with, because there'd been a long-standing embargo of Cuba goods and stuff, haven't there? Which was lifted, I think, in 2016. But I think it kind of
and then slapped back down.
And I think this is part of the reason, because they blamed the Cuban government. Yeah. So crickets and stress. Many Havana Syndrome victims. Yeah, they get weirder.
That literally could be the new name for the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Cricket and stress.
Oh, we lost to India 4-1 in the Test series, Chris.
Oh, that's not going to do my stress any good.
I thought we might have had a chance. Very, very tough place to get a result, India. Many Havana Syndrome victims report hearing an odd noise before suffering symptoms. Some heard clicks. Others remember a loud noise or whirring. One heard rolling marbles. Could they have actually heard chirping crickets? That's the conclusion of a US State Department 2018 review by Jason, a secretive group of science advisors who've been meeting since the Cold War.
Just called Jason?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's a data format as well, isn't it, JSON? Although without the A. Yeah, it is. I think it's JavaScript, something. Yeah. Jason.
You're just hearing insects, you idiots.
Yeah. Jason analysed audio recordings. Let me get it. It was just like a little robot boy that they built and called it Jason. Was there a film? It was called Daryl or something, and it was like
Daryl.
Yeah. I can't. It was an acronym for something.
There was Joe 90, who was a small robot boy.
Was he a robot?
Yeah,
I've never seen
so.
That. It was like a Thunderbirds thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know. Analysed audio recordings decided the most likely source was the Indian short-tailed cricket. They weren't saying the crickets caused the illness, just the noise, but that wouldn't explain why US officials still heard noises of while travelling abroad. Well, there you go. And crickets, that's quite a nice kind of...
I'm glad that we don't have them cricketing it up all night in this country, because that would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
If you're a city slicker, then you suddenly it's like crickets all the time. You wouldn't. It's really hard to sleep without like earplugs or whatever.
Yeah. So he had another theory about what causes symptoms: psychogenic illness. In other words, mental stresses that cause physical symptoms. A theory that's been repeated and rejected many times over the years. That could be crickets.
It's all in your head.
Yeah. And then someone has put down mass psychogenic illness. So that's been used to describe a group of people who feel ill at the same time, although there's no physical environmental explanation. So we talked before, haven't we, about kind of like the
mass hysteria
and stuff like that. We've had these mass hysteria, stunted. I think we covered it in the...
oh, I've got a bad headache. Oh, yeah, me too. Am I? It's ringing. Oh, so am I now. And I feel sick. Oh, me too. Yeah.
Well, there's
You can make yourself
fairly well documented cases of these things going about.
You can make yourself feel sick if you like. If you're not feeling sick, you can make yourself feel sick.
Psychosomatic, isn't it? That's
you can do it. Like what I would like to do is listeners pause now and sit there for 5 minutes and try and make yourself feel sick, and I guarantee you will feel a bit bilious.
Well, it's as well. There are kind of because I think people get very upset when people accuse things of having sort of like a mental condition or a psychosomatic or psychological condition. But the symptoms can be just as bad as you can have real physical symptoms. I mean, like
your mind and your body work together.
Yeah.
And if one isn't healthy, it can make the other one unhealthy.
No, absolutely. And you can, there's cases of these things where people exhibit perfectly genuine physical symptoms.
Simply look at placebos if you want to know how powerful the mind can be.
Yeah. Right. People who fear they've been poisoned, for example, may feel nauseous although they're perfectly healthy. 200 or so patients diagnosed with Havana Syndrome point out that many of them have concussion-like symptoms, however, and dismiss suggestions that it's psychological.
But that's from them banging their head against the wall in frustration when they're told it's psychosomatic.
Exactly.
No.
Playing all that American football.
Yeah, that's true.
And wrestling, backyard wrestling.
Doing all the wrestling, Cheerleading, the most deadly sport in America.
Blimey.
Getting chucked off pyramids onto your neck.
Straight onto your nut.
Yeah.
The idea that sufferers are malingerers pretending to be ill has also been kicked into the long grass. Havana Syndrome has affected a group of highly motivated people, many of whom want to return to work despite the doctor's orders to stay home. Yeah, but get bored of it, don't you? It's just a load of
if you still
millennials. They're just like, what do they call it?
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're so fucking lazy. I'm a hard-working Gen X, cynical Gen X, getting it done. Pull them up by my bootstraps, tell a lad like me.
Yeah, that's right,
No, what's it called? Low-key
quitting.
Low-key quitting, that's it, yeah. Quiet quitting or something, yeah.
Which...
I couldn't remember what it was called last time either.
Which isn't a new thing.
No. People have thrown it in for fucking years. Functional neurological disorders. Functional neurological disorders are illnesses caused by neural pathways that are inhibited and created in such a way as to cause a person pain, loss of motor control, sensory problems, language issues, fatigue, or other symptoms. Certain things the brain does go haywire, says blah, 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 a UCLA professor of neurology. Given
What's his name?
I was trying to go over that. Balla. Robert Balla, I think. Baloh.
Baloch, okay.
Baloch, maybe, I don't know. Given our brain has 100 trillion neural connections, this should not be surprising. There are plenty of other conspiracy theories, including Havana Syndrome resulting from some sort of eavesdropping device gone awry.
I reckon the way to cure that, if it is the last one, mixture of shock therapy and hallucinogens.
Just get to snap out of it. That worked well for the shell shock soldiers, didn't it, in the First World War?
Yeah, absolutely. No, mixture of hallucinogen
Stiff upper lip and a good cup of tea.
And electrolysis.
Yeah.
That reprogram your neural pathways.
If not, then
it's worked for me.
We'll just do a bit of trepanning or...
trepanning. Get
stick a needle in your noggin. That'll be fine. It'll sort you right out.
Straight through the eye.
The spirits out. So plenty of other conspiracy theories, including...
Have they thought about lobotomizing these people?
Well, can only,
Although
so their headaches aren't going away. Captain Needle's coming to the rescue.
Captain Ice Pick.
Yeah. So plenty of other conspiracy theories, including the Havana Syndrome, some sort of eavesdropping device gone awry, but very few answers about who or which country may be involved, what the cause is, and why North American officials are the target, if they are in fact being targeted. I mean, this is the whole thing. There's no real evidence that any foreign powers have done anything. Could be, but there's no... let's have a look on here. So just looking at the wiki now, attacks by hostile foreign powers. So between 2018 and 2019, following the first reports, US government postulated the cause was hostile adversaries even, attacking their embassy staff as well as Canadian embassy staff with sonic weaponry. Yeah. People disputed it, yada, yada, yada. Might have been malfunctioning computer centers. Yeah, and then people coming up with ideas about crickets and all the rest of it.
No offence to American listeners, but I can understand hostile forces attacking America because they're sort of in a cold or medium sort of war with quite a lot of with a fair few countries, right? And because they're the most powerful, they're kind of seen as the one to get. But I don't know what Canada's done. Do you know what I mean? Because well,
too polite.
Do you reckon that's what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
I don't
they're
know
just working closely with American colleagues, I suppose. I don't really know.
But then you would think that some Europeans might get
be
it as well.
Yeah, it's strange. It's just seems to be affecting North Americans. I mean, again,
could it be the amount of lead in the water in North America?
I mean, yeah, if they're all in where is it, Flint, Michigan, or whatever.
Yeah.
Which they're not because it's in Cuba.
I love it when Elon Musk came out and said, "I'm going to solve Flint, Michigan. Right, I'm going to fix it so that everyone has clean water." And then he said this, and it was a big thing, and the media all went nuts for it. Yeah. And then he donated like a tiny bit of money, and then just fucked the whole thing off, and nothing got sorted. So he got all the praise, and then did nothing.
Well, that's incredibly common, not just with our friend Musk, but it's like when, and I mean, this is a different thing, I know, but there were a couple of examples similar to this. So you remember when the Notre Dame kind of the roof burned down? So loads of like companies, like especially fashion companies in France, it was like Yves Saint Laurent and all that, they were supposedly donating tens of millions. Surprise, surprise! None of that money ever actually went into the restoration at all.
Well, like dressing up the firemen in really nice, really nice suits.
These ones off last year's rack. Beautiful.
It would be fine for you, but you couldn't wear it in the best places.
No, darling, this is too. No.
This is last year's. You'd be laughed. You'd be laughed straight out of the Pompidou Centre.
That helmet with those boots. That's no.
Oh dear.
It's yourself into the
autumn
fire,
colours. Autumn colours.
That's a bath. No.
But the thing, like, it's so annoying, isn't it? Because stuff like that should just be called out all the time.
It's so much of it happens. I mean, and again, another one I remember reading about.
But do it so that people stop saying it. Like, call them out.
No. But they do. But the problem is, it's the way the news cycle works, isn't it? By the time you get held to account, everyone's bored of it. Or another one I read about was I think it was in Maureen Hyde's book, actually. She's a very funny columnist who writes for The Guardian. But she wrote a book about like celebrity advocators and why they're bad for lots and lots of reasons. And one of them, I think, it was particularly based at what's that lady's name? The actress Sharon Stone. So she was at some charity thing, and then basically decided to get up and then make all of these people, bid for whatever, and we've raised such and such amount of money for whatever. Anyway, again, it turns out that actually they, the people didn't honour the bids that they put in at this celebrity auction. Despite eventually, but then they had to make up the money anyway, which meant it was diverted from real causes where, because he was saying it's one of the things where, the people who actually work on the ground in these kind of humanitarian organisations, it's incredibly tough decision to make. And like, for example, one of the things that they'll do it in a funny way from was mosquito nets or cholera treatment with, and things that have real world
really help.
Effect. It's not sexy, it's not cool, like tablets to stop people shitting themselves to death, but actually it is incredibly effective. And anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But it's if you don't know what you're talking about, don't be an advocate.
Well, the thing is, like,
you've got a platform, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the annoying thing,
more harm than good. Even though I'm sure their intentions are honourable and all the rest of it, but.
Well, the annoying thing is, like, all this kind of like, I'm going to save humanity in big picture. Like, I'll do it. Like, I'll make people live in space and all this kind of shit. It's like, the thing is, though, that yes, like, it'd be good to get a pill that cures cancer or whatever, but a lot of cancers are quite manageable, or there are treatments. But the thing is, a lot of the problems in the world are because people aren't getting the stuff which we already have that exists, right? Because of disorganization, or mostly because of profit. So there's like, kind of during COVID times, they're talking about excess deaths. So the amount of people who had died who wouldn't have died otherwise. The thing is, like, the amount of global excess deaths every day because of profiteering and that kind of thing, like, it's just unbelievable. Like, you just need to. Sorry, Sorry, comedy podcast.
Yeah,
but
anyway.
you don't need the big ideas. Actually, just the boring thing is, well, just give the people the stuff that already exists, and that would really help.
It's the tedious stuff like logistics and just sheer hard work. Yeah.
Well, and also regulating things and not allowing free markets to. Yep.
Well, let's not be hypocritical. We're not making a difference either. But anyway, so
speak for yourself.
Yeah, right. Count charity a lot. So, well, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you, Chris. I mean, let's have a look, see if there's anything in the wiki we can pull out. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't really seem like they're. Nobody knows. Could be on people's heads. Could be some sort of foreign attack. Nobody's really been able to, and they seem to be. What it seems to be now, they seem. I mean, there was an article on the BBC a couple of years back where they, because of Cold War research and things like that, they seem to think that low-level microwave emissions might have been a theory that could have gone through. But generally, they seem to think it's more of seem to be trending towards more of a psychosomatic illness. Well, and there could be a bit of a hysteria mixed in it, in terms of like mass hysteria.
I'm always
see similar symptoms. I don't know.
So I'm always a bit suspicious when they go, "Oh, it's probably just in people's heads." Do you know what I mean? Because they've said that about a lot of things which are actually real. So
yeah, and I think they did prove, didn't they? I'm just going to Google Gulf War syndrome. Actually, I think they did find it was something to do with chemicals they were using in the weapons.
It's quite often
successfully sued the families.
Rather than admit you don't know, they would rather say, "Oh, it's right. We reckon it's this. Right, there's your answer." Rather than go, "Well, we haven't figured it out."
Yeah, so they haven't fully figured it out. But I could say medical condition. So this is Gulf War syndrome, affecting veterans of the '91 Gulf War, characterised by fatigue, chronic headaches, and skin and respiratory disorders. Origin is uncertain, although it has been attributed to an exposure, a combination of pesticides, vaccines, and other chemicals. There you go.
So it's the chemicals.
Yes. So yeah, but I don't know what chemicals are being used.
What do you think it is, Neil? That's what we want to know, really. What's your read on it?
What's the most ridiculous one?
Aliens.
Yeah, I think they're all faking it. I think they want to have a land war with Cuba.
Okay.
I think it's a false flag operation, Chris. That's what I reckon.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Not with those.
I get that. They want to expand out until Guantanamo Bay covers the whole of Cuba.
Not with the Chief Information Army involved. I think that they are all. I think that the American government are putting prototypes of the mind chips which are being made by Musk into people, and that's what's causing it. I think that's what's causing it.
Yeah, because it's actually
Neuralinks.
They've put it into hundreds of thousands of employees unknowingly, but it's just these are just the bugs they're ironing out.
Yeah, just ironing out the bugs. They're beta testing it.
Yeah, just human software, basically.
Hey, Neil,
can't make an omelette
without breaking some eggs.
Yeah,
exactly.
What do we like? Tasty omelettes.
Yeah. What do we hate? Eggs.
Eggs. Stupid eggs.
Stupid eggs.
You try and eat an egg, you're getting all shell in your teeth. Like that.
I'd like it if we destroy all.
I
reckon we should destroy all eggs and just have omelettes.
Yeah.
That's
chickens.
Right there is an excellent summation of the current landscape. So, Neil, should we go to the scoring system?
Yeah.
So,
spookiness.
Yeah. It could be hauntings. It could be possession.
We haven't explored the paranormal, but no one else seems to be saying that either. So yeah,
that's because
it could be ghosts.
That's because they are dull.
Yeah. Expand their mind a little bit. Yeah, I think it's unexplained illness. I can imagine if you were. I mean, to be fair, empathizing with these people. I mean, there don't seem to have been a lot of people actually giving direct quotes and things like that. I guess there's security reasons for that.
There are people who have done podcasts and stuff come out, like the people who've got it have talked about it.
Okay, who've talked about it. Fair enough.
In the open.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess if you're retired or whatever, and it's probably not. You can talk about current symptoms.
Sick.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be, having an unexplained illness and worrying about could it be a foreign attack. It's kind of like, that would play on your mind as well. I think it's quite spooky. The idea that you've got no idea. It could be some sort of chemical attack. It could be
Is it going to get worse?
Sonic weapon. Is it going to get worse? Yeah. Has it done damage? Could it cause other side effects that over the longer term? Yeah, it's quite spooky. So I'm going to give it a 7.
7. So I think it's a bit less spooky than that in the round when you compare it to ghosts and stuff.
No, it's not a ghost story, is it?
It's not a ghost story, so it's less spooky.
Ghost story never gave me a migraine, Chris.
Didn't it?
Yeah, Blair Witch never gave me a migraine. Might have murdered a lot of kids. Not a kid, am I? Not bothered.
Well,
Back on Love is actually rubbish. You come crying at me about it.
Well, fair enough.
Making me stare at walls in corners. Not having it.
I like staring at walls in corners. Yeah. That's great. Great for me.
Do it all day long.
Good. I don't want to sit. No problem. I like staring at corners.
I do this at home, you know.
It's nice to get out the house, to be honest. So yeah, it's not very spooky. I think it's probably something to do with chemicals. It's got a chemical feel to me, but I don't know. It's lasting a bit long, isn't it?
The Captain Planet.
It's going on a bit long.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a hard one to call spooky. So I'm just going 5.
Yeah, fair enough.
Believability. So yeah, I think it's very believable. We don't know what it. So I guess the thing is, so it's happening probably, and people think they've got it definitely. So I guess the believability is it some kind of weapon or not? Futuristic weapon. Yeah. But I'll be honest, I don't think that's unbelievable that they could have it. And I don't think it's unbelievable that they would have first tried it out in Cuba, because it's a bit of a statement, because America going back to Cuba, if it was Russia or something, trying selling out.
Do you know what I mean? What the Cubans would want to.
Well, they might not be.
After.
No, but I don't think
it may not have been the Cuban actors.
I think it could have been the Russians, because they love doing shit in other people's countries, don't they? Like plutonium people up in the UK and stuff. So I would assume
with that nerve gas.
I would assume it's the Russians, to be honest. At this point, I think they've proven themselves to be shits recently. Yeah. So
well, the security services. I'm sure.
I'm giving it a 9 for believability. No, I'm not talking about the people necessarily.
No, of course not.
Some mixed bag.
As with any country.
As with any country, yeah.
I'm going to go for an 8. So my rationale there, I mean, nothing here that's massively outlandish, but I guess just some of them are a bit more outlandish than others. So, because we don't have a clear cause and effect, it's hard to give it a 10. But yeah, I mean, none of it's like massively unbelievable, and obviously, the symptoms are clearly there. But what's causing them?
Narrative premise now.
I think you could do something, you'd have to guss it up, some sort of Manchurian candidate kind of vibe where you end up mind controlling people or something like that. But
could happen, couldn't it?
That's the next step.
Yeah.
Getting them all ready for another
takeover tour.
Take over the White House or whatever. Yeah. Who knows?
Not Ottawa, I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe invade Canada.
Well, the Canadians.
What they started in 1850.
It sounds like the Canadians have had even more trouble
who's
than
the Americans. Gonna help you now, not the British anymore.
No, not the Limeys.
Mere Dominion. The Queen can't save you either.
No, she's all nice and dead.
Yeah. So,
do you think the fact that all of the royal family have cancer now is a Russian attack?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think it is.
Well, you see how the Church of England. Maybe it's they're being smitten.
There's a pope. Do you reckon it's old mouthy pope boy?
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Old fifth columnist popey boy.
Oh. They're all in it together. I've forgotten. Oh, narrative premise. Yeah, I think there's unknown attacks. It's kind of I think it's not the most exciting story, but
espionage.
Yeah, but you've got espionage. You could turn this into a Bond movie, couldn't you?
Oh, easily.
Think about more ridiculous ones.
Absolutely.
On that notion, I'm giving it an 8. Or like a Bond movie, even a terrible one.
Yeah, it could be
any more ridiculous than whatever happened in Octopussy.
Could be a Bond movie, Jack Reacher TV series.
Yeah, that'd be fun as well.
Be any of that.
Big muscle lad hitting people in the face.
What's the other one? Who was I thinking of? Jack Ryan. I was thinking. They're all called Jack.
I was going to say Reacher's more like kind of like a up-to-date Western type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
It was that template. Do you know what I mean? Comes into a town and saves the folk.
Sort of like I kind of think more like the Littlest Hobo, really.
Well, that is very much a Western theme type of thing.
And every stop he makes, he kills a few men.
Or the Incredible Hulk did the same thing, didn't they?
Did. So, yeah, I think it's all right. I think you can do something with it.
Get angry about the price of macaroons.
What a lovely
overpriced bakery. Why don't you go down to Sainsbury's then, sir? The Reeves and Mortimer sketch, for those of you who aren't familiar, which is everyone listening.
Yeah, because we talked about other stuff, I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah.
And Reach. So it's quite big. I mean, it's fairly well known. It's definitely known. Like most people in America would have heard of it.
Yeah, plenty of articles about it on the
plenty of. I mean, I think it's got a pretty big reach. So I'm going to give it but it's new and.
So you think it's kind of current affairs?
It's not very sexy.
No.
So I'm going to give it a 7 now.
Yeah, I think reach-wise, I don't know. It's going to be a consistent one, so I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay, and I'm just totting up the scores now because I got distracted.
No, someone talks over you. It can be quite distracting, can't it, Chris? Yeah.
I wouldn't know about that kind of thing.
Wouldn't know about that, no, because of course you wouldn't.
Nope, it's not the kind of thing which I go in for. 57. 57 nil.
57. That's all right. It's quite
a
high score.
Not bad. Yeah, very high score. I think the believability and the fact it exists and stuff always give it a boost.
That always gives them a boost, yeah.
So that's it for this week. I'm not going to go through all the emails and that because it's all available. And so we'll be back next week with something a bit more outlandish, I would imagine. But it's interesting to have a little look at this. So
yeah, why not?
Enjoy your week. Enjoy the start of spring. It's Easter coming up. Remember to eat some chickens and chocolate bunnies or whatever it is, and have a good time, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your time off, and goodbye.
It's an Urbane Legend, oh yeah. Guys, you're great. Oh, I'd give it my best. White and white, please, John. Right, Steve, you so rag. You owe me a mug.